Businesses create jobs. They create other careers. That's what a business creates. Businesses don't just create money. There's plenty of one-man shows that could still be considered a business, but in our line of work, it's never going to be a one-man show for a micro gym. But guys, invest in human beings, not in bodies and skiers and pegboards.
Welcome back, fitness friends, to the Future of Fitness podcast and interview series. This is your host, Eric Malzone, and this is episode number 57. I talked to Stuart Brauer. So although a relatively young man, he's been in the industry for 15 years, and he is the CEO founder of CrossFit South End, which he recently rebranded to Urban Movement. And most notably, he is the CEO and founder of What the Fuck Gym Talk. That's right, I said it, WTF Gym Talk. So in my opinion, my humble opinion, Stuart is a natural born disruptor. I remember when he came into the CrossFit affiliate world 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago. I don't know, time flies, but he started posting videos. He started his media company with an iPhone, and he started posting videos of his opinions, interviews he was having, and strategy sessions he was having with business owners and gym owners. And it just started taking off. And say what you will, he rubs some people the wrong way. Some people don't like his language. Fine, whatever. If you listen to what he's saying, and if you hear, more importantly, what he's saying, you realize that he comes to the industry in this particular niche, which I love, with a very honest and authentic desire to help. And he's making a living doing it, so more power to him. Now, he has a great event coming up June 2nd and 3rd, which I'll tell you all about here in a second. But if you've been listening to the show for the past few weeks, you know what I'm going to talk about. It's Modern Fitness Pro. It's our closed Facebook group. So my business partner, Doug Holt, and I started the group because we want to have a place where conversations that matter take place. And it's going on. It's going on right now with you or without you. But we would like to have you in there. Just this past week, I had a very long conversation about what a fitness professional, what a personal trainer should make. Now, you can have all the statistics on what we make currently, but really with the role and the benefits and all the value that we add to our communities, why can't we be making much more? Let's talk about it. Why not? What do we need to do to get there? Anyway, I'm very passionate about the group. I hope you could decide to come join us. It's the Modern Fitness Pro closed Facebook group. It is by application. So if you fill it out and the questions look good, we'll let you in. And then you will be part of that conversation with 2,100 fitness professionals from all over the world. So it's really cool. So let's talk about Stuart's event. It is June 2nd and 3rd. It is in Westfield, New Jersey at CrossFit 908 Central. So here's some of the topics. I'm sure there's more. I love these topics. I really do. Tactical sales training. Sales. It's like an evil word of the fitness professional, right? But he's going to do it really well. The PT first method, which is personal training first, as opposed to group model, and how he implements that into gyms on a day-to-day basis. Creating Facebook campaigns to free you from the 6-week challenge companies. Yes, I love it. We call it crash diet marketing, and I love that he's tackling this head on. So yeah, it's a great event. You can go check him out at WTF Gym Talk. His name's Stuart Brauer, and there's so much value, you guys. If you are in this niche, if you are in the micro gym niche, listen to this interview, listen to it a few times, because from mindset to strategy to tactics, all the stuff that needs to be taking place, the conversations that really need to be taking place within the community is happening in this episode, and I'm sure all over his media. And so without further ado, let's get into it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This is episode number 57 with Stuart Brauer. Hey, fitness fans. Welcome back to the Future of Fitness podcast interview series. My name is Eric Malzone. I'm your host. And today I have a very well-spoken gentleman named Stu Brauer. Stu, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is we were just jawing a little bit before recording, and I think we have some cool views on what's going on in the fitness world. So before we get to it, let's tell the world what's your story. Who are you? What do you do? What do you stand for within the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm self-made. Picture yourself 14 years old. You're a skinny ginger and soaking wet. You weigh 145 pounds. That's a tough gig, right? So I found, especially I went to an all boys school. So you either played sports and then in your free time, you were trying to get laid, right? So that was it. And again, given those characteristics, tough gig. So I lived in the weight room. I very early on became I like to call it a student of strength and conditioning, the early things like the Mel Sifs and just the bodybuilding realm and all that carried me to university, where I went and pursued my degree and got in exercise phys. And then right around 05, right going into 06, I find CrossFit during a internship with the NSCA at a Velocity Sports Performance in Nashville, Tennessee. I was the intern, just doing grunt work and running their classes, this, that, and the other thing. And I believe they were CrossFit Nashville. They were like one of the first ones. So I get exposed to it. I go back to school. I'm constantly going from my internship to college, back and forth. Anytime we had a long break to get my hours, and I'm digging deeper and deeper down this CrossFit realm. So by the end of 06, I'm all in. I'm telling my buddies about it. I'm the dude walking into the gym with a PVC pipe over my shoulder, and everyone's making fun of me. Like, what is it? Who is this loser? So I got in a little bit of disciplinary problems and got a good time in college. I did a victory lap. I had a real good time. And the city was really nice, letting me work off hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of community service. I got to be the strength and conditioning coach for our university's men's wrestling team. Helped out with some of the other sports, but mainly men's wrestling. And they took the CrossFit, obviously. A, wrestlers are fucking psychos. Two, they just understand, go hard for a certain period of time, rest, work intervals. So that was like my start. I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, where I had an opportunity to work with a great guy, Stephen Baker, who owned CrossFit Middle Tennessee at the time. And he gave me my first, I was kind of his go-to coach. I was helping him out, and I got to see the struggles of a small business owner. And I knew that's what I wanted. I wanted the seat at that table. I knew I wanted to do that thing. I knew I'd been working on my coaching, crafting game for years now, but I didn't have a clue how to run a business.
Sure. So
what I considered at the time, I kind of sold my soul. I went and worked for Globo Gym. I went and got a gig as a trainer at a Globo Gym. I worked my way up to a personal training director, and then I worked my way up. I got recruited, did regional sales, and eventually was the VP of a pretty large Globo Gym company. That led me to Charlotte, North Carolina, through that whole Globo Gym experience. And I settled in here. I had my 40-hour week Globo Gym gig, doing consulting work, traveling all over. And then I'm like, I love Charlotte. It was great. It was the right city, had the right look, the right feel. The demo was right. So I started a mobile personal training company. That mobile personal training company would contract with apartment complexes. So I had a 40-hour gig that was paying me extremely well. And then I had this side hustle of about 20 hours a week. I had 7 trainers working underneath me. We were in 12 different apartment complexes, and we were just crushing. Like, that side hustle was doing very well. I knew I had to go group, so I broke that model. I'm like, screw it. We're going away from PT. We're going into group. We went out to the park. I did a boot camp. That boot camp eventually became my first brick and mortar. My first brick and mortar became my second. And then I decided I wanted to get in the real estate acquisition. I planned, I saved, I made the right moves with the right people. I looked out, and I purchased a very nice piece of property in a very booming section of Charlotte, North Carolina here. And now we have rebranded and remolded from this PT apartment complex gig to a boot camp to what was known as CrossFit South, and still is, and to some people. And now we are Urban Movement. And Urban Movement is a much different model than what CrossFit was for me originally. It is my evolution of CrossFit South End.
Okay. What does that evolution look like?
My facility is aesthetics and experience first, not utility first. I got rid of all my GHDs when we went. We kept one for personal training reasons, but I got rid of all my GHDs. I got rid of my jerk blocks. I got rid of the more advanced Olympic weightlifting. And to say more, it is kind of like an oxymoron. They're all advanced, but we do hang power variations of the majority of the movements. We don't do full snatching or overhead squats. We do movements that are more accessible to individuals. We do more strength than we do kipping. I would say probably in our workouts, you're looking at 80% strength movements versus kipping. We allow a larger menu when you show up. So when you show up to what we call our signature class, which is lift and move, you get to walk in and you get to pick whether you're going to do a strength biased workout or a conditioning biased workout. So it kind of looks like what gyms have been trying to do. Like, there's a strength section, then there's a Metcon. No, you just walk in. They're both quote unquote Metcons. Just one of them is 3 heavy power cleans, 3 tall box jumps, and 6 strict pull-ups. Versus the other one is 12 unbroken power cleans, 12 lower box, more cyclical cardiovascular kind of a box jump scenario, and 15 jumping pull-ups or kipping pull-ups. So you get to pick every day when you come in what you want. You want to lift the world? Fucking A, we're going to do it. You want to be a cardio bunny? Be a cardio bunny. I don't care. I'm running a business. I'm not here to push my methodology on you and my belief as a coach as to what you need. The gym owner that runs the 5K I'm like, why the fuck do you do that? They're like, well, 5K row is important for fitness. I'm like, dude, who are you serving? Yourself or like the clients? Have you ever ran a poll on that workout? Like, anyway, so that's kind of a movement. We became a third place. I brought in, I subleased to a coffee company, South End Grind. We have a 2,000 square foot coffee lounge, Wi-Fi, co-op working space, full service coffee company in here. Ride or Die Spin Studio, which is their first location. My wife owns that. That's a concept that she, her time spent inside the Soul Cycle world as a client there. So we have this very cool concept, and we're continuing to evolve it. And I'll continue to evolve it until someone walks in Urban Movement and they tell their friend, oh, I go to Urban Movement. And people say, what's that like? And they don't answer CrossFit. Because until I've done that, I haven't rebranded. So all you guys out there listening, that's like, oh, I'm rebranding. And all you did was change the fucking logo and the colors of your building and your website. That's not a rebranding. You just dressed up a turd. So for me, I realize rebranding is going to be a 3-year play for me. But until someone comes in and I don't know what it is yet, I haven't figured it out. I don't know. But right now, you ask anyone what they do at Urban Movement, some of them would answer CrossFit. It's starting to change. We're starting to lose people because we're not CrossFit, which is great. Like, it sucks, but I give my GM a high five because we're now finally getting to what I consider a rebranding. Yeah.
And that would be scary for a lot of people. Right?
Oh, it's scary for me. Like, you're talking someone who's had a love affair with CrossFit since 2005. And like, if I met Greg Glassman, I'd probably break down crying, like, because of my gratitude for what inspired me and empowered me to do it. A 20-year-old kid. But I also do believe that I'm not in love with CrossFit. I'm in love with what CrossFit does. And I can dress that. I can make that any way I want. I'm still doing constantly varied functional movements, it's things like that. It's just, I'm doing it to my own beat of my own drum. I'm branding it my own way. And I'm just looking at what I think all the other CrossFits are doing, which, what the fuck Gym Talk, which is, my consulting handle, has enabled me to really do. And I see what's being done. And I always like to go against the grain. If everyone is running out of a building and going right, I'm the dude that's going to go left.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. And I've seen the evolution of your voice within the CrossFit community, right? I've seen it. At first I was like, what is this? Who is this guy? And then all of a sudden you're everywhere, right? Within the CrossFit, seemingly everywhere, on social, within the groups, all these things. Let's talk about that process. So
sure.
How did that start, and what was the consistencies, the things that you needed to do? What was going on in your head? What was the fear? All of it.
Sure. I did what I think every gym owner right now has the true dream of doing. I brought my business, CrossFit South, into a point where I have in the other room next to me, my ride or die in business, Isaac, who's my GM, right? She runs the show here, right? So I developed and created a team with Isaac leading the helm of that allows the business to run itself. If the business is profitable, I succeeded with CrossFit South End. I climbed that summit. CrossFit South End is very successful. Urban Movement is very successful. About 3.5 years ago, I remember having kind of this epiphany, and I listened to guys like, again, we were talking earlier, like Cooper was the first business coaches in the CrossFit scene were Nikki Violetti, the wife of Rob Wolf. She had a business blog that a lot of people don't realize, John Gilson, and then Greg Glassman. I listened to Greg Glassman's videos and stuff whenever he would get the small little tidbits on it. And then you had guys like Craig Patterson was on the scene for a while. Mm-hmm. You had other guys, the Biz showed up for a while, and I never really resonated with them real well. And anyway, so I saw this, and I just knew that we were all still figuring it out. We really didn't know what we had, but I did know this, that in a gold rush, which is what I saw with CrossFit, everyone went running to the group model, this underground-like group model, and I knew that was a gold rush, but anyone who knows anything knows that in a gold rush, the people who get rich do not get rich mining for gold. It's the motherfuckers selling shovels. Yeah. And I look back at what I did in Globo Gym, and I had to do 20 consultations a week as a personal training director. Right. So I did 20 hours of consultations a week on top of hiring and firing, developing and having to hit sales quotas and all these things that a business needs to know how to do. And I thought to myself, man, we need to bring PT back. Like this, I knew the singular revenue stream wasn't working. So I fucked within my gym. We made it successful. And then I started getting inquiries and stuff from people, talking to them. And I created this handle of What the Fuck Gym Talk. But the only thing that allowed me to create that business, which, I'm very, very proud of this. A lot of people don't know about this. I don't think I've ever said this out loud on anything on air. I no longer take a salary from my gym. I made that cut in January of this year. No longer get paid. I take no dividends, nothing from this business that I've spent the better half of, my life building. And to be honest, it was the thing that put baby in a corner to grow What the Fuck Gym Talk, which is why you might see me everywhere. I took every dollar I was making and put it into media. Every fucking dollar. I was making zero money, right? This is before I jumped off, CrossFit South End's salary. Mm-hmm. But while I did that, I threw every dollar into media. I have an entire production team. Like literally, we put out a new video every day. We do a new podcast normally about every 3 to 4 days. And there's generally 4 to 5 posts per day. I would like to say that I think I put out more content than anybody in the video format. That's my favorite format. Mm-hmm. But in the business coaching realm. But the only thing that allowed me to do is go all in on storytelling. Any of you guys that are currently gym owners and you have this idea, another side hustle you want to do, whether it's business coaching, whether it's you have an idea for a piece of an accessory, a wrist wrap, a new chalk, or anything, whatever your side hustle is. And I think every entrepreneur gets to a point where they see an idea that popped off their first idea, right? I know the micro gym scene needed business coaches. There's 30 different guys out there telling you where to shovel a crossball when you have a tight muscle group, right? Mm-hmm. There's very few people telling everybody why your LCV is important, why having a singular revenue stream will destroy your business and you'll never make it to double digits, and why coaches should get paid a certain amount for that. All those things. I saw that, and with that in mind, I decided I need to get the word out, and the only thing I can do is get in front of a camera every day. So I started with just an iPhone. If you look at my old stuff, it's ugly. Like, it's not attractive looking video content at all. If you look at it now, you tell a huge difference. It's cool to watch the journey. Chris, who's my head videographer, he did a throwback video for me for my birthday, which is this past December. And he made this cool video showing the very first What the Fuck Gym Talk video. I look like it's horrible. It's just the worst lighting. It's just real bad. And then kind of showing that journey. And it was really cool to see. But yeah, now this is my full-time gig. I work, about 30 hours a week doing consulting. I've got about 85 gyms under my wing right now, and it's been phenomenal. I'm really excited.
Yeah, picks and axes, man. That's where where the money is for sure. So you're a storyteller. Let's talk about the hero's journey, right? So let's talk about the gym owners, micro gym owners that you find and you start working with. What are they like? How do you come in and help them? And then what's the state after?
Sure. Yeah. I've been fortunate enough. I've never marketed. Here's one cool thing about, a handle that has WTF in it. Facebook denies everything. It denied my first Facebook when I tried to create the Facebook page back in the day. Every ad, even when the ad is legit and I'm not swearing in it. And if you listen to my content, listen, for everyone who has a thing, like I know I get emails about the swearing. Here's the thing real quick, guys. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio in a very Irish Catholic family watching the Browns every Sunday. You go to school as an 8-year-old and you call people fuckers. Like, that's just what happens. Like, and still being a Cleveland Browns fan today, maybe that's where my swearing comes from, is the Cleveland background and the Irish family. But I don't have to find anybody. Everyone, it's all inquiries. I've never really ran ads with CTAs, call to actions. I utilize the internet. I'm in Facebook groups. I'm a member of South African affiliate owners. I make videos with no call to action and I drop them in. I share information. Yeah. I literally I've never gone after a fish. The fish come to the boat and I ask them, what is your problem? And I see if I can help. There's been cases where I cannot help. I am not the guy for them. Right. You want a 6-week challenge funnel? I'm not your guy. Right. I'm not your guy. You need, you want someone to come on site for 2 weeks at your gym? I can definitely do that in half. Right. So, you want to do Skype calls? I'm that guy. But when I get somebody, I do an intake form. So before you even can have that first call from me, you pay for it. So again, you get on a call, you're paid because I want you to have some skin in the game, and because I don't give away shit for free. My time's valuable, and I have you fill out a very exhausting qualitative and quantitative form. And a lot of times that's kind of a very aha moment for a gym owner. Sure. When I ask you, what is your average, revenue per client per class? And they break down the math. They're like, fuck me, man. I'm making $4.87. Like, I couldn't even go to Starbucks with that per client per class. It just is this aha moment for a lot of guys. So we get on a call, we run through that stuff. And then I have different phases. I, think of it kind of like a big circle, right? And there's different sections cut into like a pie, and people start in different phases. Maybe it's internal metrics. We might look at your business and look and see that 87% of your current members are paying less than your market rate. And I determine your market rate is what you're advertising on your website or what you would charge a brand new person. So if I see that, that might be the number one thing I go after, right? Is, doing a price raise. Maybe everything's good there. Maybe everyone's paying current rates. ACV is low and you're running some bullshit fundamentals or on-ramp that everyone, bring a friend day on Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. because that's when it's convenient for you because you actually have coaches on set. So maybe I attack that intake. Maybe I recommend PT first instead of group on-ramp. So it all depends on the individual. One thing I talk to people about, I don't have any systems and templates, but I tell people when I get a call with them, by the way, before this call starts, I don't know dick as to how I'm going to fix your business yet. I got an idea. And I'll definitely have a better idea at the end of it. I treat your business like I own it. I think about it. But if there's anything that I give you as a suggestion that you don't want to do within reason, I'm cool with it because I truly believe this statement. It is not what we do. It is how and why we do it. I've got gym owners in Australia doing month to month and a gym owner in LA doing contracts. They're both killing it, doing different. Their whats are different. But the why is correct. They have truly aligned themselves as to why they do it. They have a reason for doing it. And then it's the how they execute it. Ask most gym owners, why did you pick that price? That's what the gym was at that I was at as a client. Okay, that's not a good fucking why. Why did you pick that class schedule? Why do you develop your coaches like that? Well, that's what the gym down the street did. They don't have a good why. Yes. So in that case, I do care what the what is. But if you're, I'm not really worried about the what, it's the how and why. And I can help you find your why, and then I can help you execute on the how. And honestly, it makes it fucking oblivious as to really what the what is, if that makes sense. But I work with gym owners. I require a certain number of calls depending on how deep they are, right? You're sitting at a single digit profit margin. We probably need to be on the phone once a week. Things are doing well and maybe you need me to come in and you want me to come on site and do some staff development, maybe that's less frequently. It all depends. It's 100% tailored to the gym. I don't have any systems and throw PDFs at you and all that bullshit. I have none of that. I don't even have that in my own business. I repeat, I have 0 handbooks for my business. If you came to work for me right now, I would have nothing to hand you. Everything we do is hands-on learning, 100% built. There's basic framework for things, but I've never believed in a handbook or a user's manual, if you will, for my micro gym business. And that's just me.
So I have a question for you. Listening to all this, a couple of things resonate with me personally. So when I made the decision to sell my CrossFit affiliate, my primary CrossFit affiliate in Santa Barbara, it was due to, I really took a hard look at my why. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing this because I want freedom. And I don't feel that this is like, if I want to travel the United States with my wife and my dog, I can't do that. Well, I can. It's just a lot more weight, right? So that was just a resonation point I just had when you were speaking. The other thing I want to ask you is when you hear the term lead generation, what do you feel?
Yes. Lead generation. I think lead is the new buzzword. Essentially, I think we were all talking lead generation when Groupon was popular in 2015, 2014 kind of scene. Right. That's exactly what that was. Like I look at these 6-week challenges as right now, again, I had Alex Hormozi on my podcast, right? He's a huge infamous, people fucking want to kill him or blow him right now. And I really respect Alex for what he's done. And what he's done is growing a business. And that's why I respect him as a business guy. Smart kid. And when I hear lead generation now, I think that's just a cool buzzword, right? And I think, when everyone was running Groupons back in the day, it was just acquiring leads. So do I think you need lead generation? Maybe. If you tell me that your churn you're churning 10% members, right? So let's say you're one of these guys that has 300 members. You're losing a fucking 1 member a day for a month, right? You need to get 1 member a day just to wash, right? So in that case, I think lead generation is maybe a priority. I think most people don't need lead generation as much as they need retention.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the business. Brand new, like I've got 4 gyms right now that we're working on pre-sales. They literally need to open their gym with 50 members to cover operating expenses, and I'm helping them do pre-sales. Those individuals need lead generation, right? The gym that's been around for 4 years, like, man, I need more leads. Listen, dude, if you've been around for 4 years and you don't have, let's say you have 200 members, and let's say you're not getting 10 people organically per month through word of mouth and your own Facebook, you're doing a dog shit job. I promise you. You tell me that nobody comes in, period, off, even if you're nested behind in an industrial warehouse, but they don't come in off an Instagram post, a Facebook, because you know somebody, a referral. This is a word of mouth business. I want people to remember that. This is a word of mouth business. Not all of your clientele, but a good number of it will come in from that. Your interaction and networking and ecosystem will be the determining factor. But gym owners, here's the thing though, they get stuck behind these four walls. They never get to go and create an ecosystem. And that is what poisons them. So now they're constantly looking for lead generation. Cold traffic sucks. Anyone like Globo Gym, I had to hit cold traffic all day. I was on the phones. Think like fucking Wolf of Wall Street and Boiler Room. Pick up the phones and dial. Like that's what we did.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It's way better to have a good ecosystem, know how to run check-in campaigns, know how to run referral campaigns, and constantly, John, why doesn't your wife come in? Well, she'd come in if you had a women's class. I'm like, well, that's funny. That's the fourth time I've heard that. Isaac, let's talk about a women's class. You know? Or maybe if no one's coming in, maybe it's because you need to look at your product and the PR snatches and no one gives a fuck about 18.1. And, maybe again, it's the storytelling you're doing online, right? But yeah, I think lead generation is something like, I like lead generation November and December, my two slowest months. Charlotte is a transient city. We push lead generation in those months. I don't need to do it January, February, March. Again, it's cyclical. Lead generation is something every business needs to do. I just think every gym is just saying lead generation because they don't know what else to say. And it's just a buzzword right now.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts.
And this is, I'm a digital marketer. That's what I do.
Yeah.
We're a full stack agency. And whenever I hear lead generation, it's immediate red flags. I'm like, okay, as much as I would love to just do someone's digital marketing, I can't just do marketing and not pay attention to what's going on in the business.
Oh, 100%.
Usually lead generation is this magic sprinkle. They think they can just go on top of the problem and it'll just solve everything. And it doesn't. Yeah. You still have to get out. You still have to do all those things. You still have to build relationships. You have to know who your local PTs, chiros, athletic directors, all those people. You still have to get out and get outside your four walls. And it's so easy to stay inside where it's comfortable and just talk and just look inside of this world that you created and stay there.
I agree, man. I've one of the sayings I love dropping on people. It's the magician, not the wand, right? Yeah. It's not how you get them in. It's what you do with them. I made that comment 20 seconds ago, maybe before this podcast. Someone was talking about, I posted a video today about, getting biometrics on your prospects when you do a consultation. Someone's like, oh, but what about an InBody versus a regular, a scale from Walmart? And I'm like, it's the fucking magician, not the one. Everyone's trying to get something that's going to make them better. No, you just need to be better. Truly and truly. Your product sucks if you haven't had any organic generation of marketing. Again, when I say your product, maybe it's not your class. Maybe your class is a rock star. But if you're not telling the story, nobody, what's that? If a tree falls and kills a mime in the woods, does anybody fucking know or care? And some shit like that. You have the best classes in the world, but if you don't story tell in an effective manner, I tell people well, what should I do with stories? I'm like, look what I do. How did you hire me as a business consultant? Well, I saw one of your videos where you did a side-by-side Skype conversation with a gym owner and you answered his questions. And I thought, hey, I have those same questions. How can you do that for your clients? How about you show a video of you working with 40-pound overweight Sally, if that is your avatar prospect, and have Sally talk about how working with you has really helped, and then pump that motherfucker into Instagram and Facebook. How about that, gym owner Johnny? He's like, well, I'd rather talk about how awesome we all did on 18.1. I'm like, fuck about 18.1, gym owner Johnny. Nobody. They don't even know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. It's the reason why, and all you guys listening, you know this to be true. If you were a client or a coach, and in a magical weekend and in a certain period of events, you magically became a gym owner within a month, this is why you're still in that client or coach realm. We're still wearing the client and coach hat. You're not thinking like a gym owner. Time will fix it in one of two ways. You will learn, you will level up, which I'm seeing a lot of business owners do. They're like, okay. I'm going to actually sacrifice my 2 workouts today and not follow Ben Bergeron's comp training because I should probably be following up with members and seeing how they're enjoying. I should probably be cleaning the floors and developing my staff. And I do see gym owners. I think the trend is bucking in the way of professionalism. I think people are getting better because I think there are guys like me and all the other guys out there talking about this stuff and making gym owners aware. And it's cool to be good at business now. Mm-hmm. Back when 4 years ago, who was the best coach? Who had a level 2, you know, and who's going to Outlaws Olympic weightlifting cert and all this other shit. That was the coolest. Are you a good, coach and gym owner were synonymous. I'm a shitty fucking athlete. I'm not the best coach in here. Oh, fuck that. I'm probably still the best coach in here. But I'm the best. I'm the only person that could do what the CEO stuff, right? And I look at CEO as I am the creative and then the execution officer. I create the ideas and I execute on them. And I realize that my job is not taking care of clients. It's taking care of my employees. Their job is taking care of clients. Too many owners get involved with the clients. I'm not saying I don't know all of them by name. Not saying I don't talk to them. But when I realize my job is to grow staff, not members, changes your entire mindset, your entire fucking mindset.
So that's an excellent point. Focusing on staff versus clients. Do you think that's the biggest blind spot that micro gym owners have now? Or what do you think is the biggest blind spot that they have?
Number one is currently not charging a market value. That's number one. Now, I can only say, it's hard to make that statement because I have no idea what you're doing on the inside. You might be doing a $60 a month service, or less. Yeah. But by and large, not charging a professional rate. And the reason is because you don't feel like a professional because 6 months ago, you were a fucking client at another gym and you took a weekend cert. So I understand that paradigm. I truly do, which is why you probably should be hiring some professionals, people that are better coaches than you. Okay. But yeah, I think it quickly falls to staff development. I had someone, a new client, very successful business, like profit margins, 30%. He's probably doing, 40 to 50 grand a month with a 30% margin. He's got money, but I'm like, you still haven't created a business. And he's like, what do you mean I haven't created a business? Look at this. I've been open 4 years. I'm killing it. I got all these members. I'm like, no. Businesses create jobs. They create other careers. That's what a business creates. Businesses don't just create money. There's plenty of one-man shows that could still be considered a business, but in our line of work, it's never going to be a one-man show for a micro gym. Right. A real micro gym. If you want to consider yourself a business, for anyone listening, how many jobs have you created? My intake form I referenced earlier, and it's online. Anybody can take it. It should have 2 questions. It has like a bunch. It should have 2. Who is your longest tenured employee? How long have they been there? How much money do they make? That's all I need to know. That is all I need to know. Most gym owners, I'm bartering. I have 4 part-time 1099s. I've got 1 W-2 making $1,100 a month. Isaac, who I mentioned earlier, my GM, she started off at $600 a month. She left a very nice 5-figure salary job, corporate Bank of America, event planning gig to come work for me for God knows why. And, we put a plan in place. For all you guys listening, here's a tactical piece to take from this. Look at what you're paying somebody. If you look at that person, you think, God, I do not want to lose them. And you truly value who they are as a person and what they can do for your business. And it's someone that you can see riding co-pilot with you. Look them dead in the face and say, I'm going to put it on paper. I'm going to give you $500 added to your salary every 3 months. And now do the math in your head. How many memberships do you need to sell and retain in 3 months to add $500? For me, that's what I did with Isaac. I was like, okay, that's 2 point whatever. Fuck, I can do that in 3 months. Hell yeah, I can do that in 3 months. So my sales goals I set for myself, but again, I had a sales background. I set, boom, X amount plus 2.7 members because I need to continue to pay Isaac. Every 3 months, slap another $500. That's an extra $6,000 a year, fellas, for those of you guys not quick on the mathematics. But every 3 months, slap that $500 in there and keep adding and adding. Guess what? You get someone somewhere and they see the consistency. And she would eat before I did. I don't know what the phrase is. Maybe it's a Sinek thing. Leaders eat last. And then I hear people say, no, leaders eat or whatever. I don't know what the argument is. Yeah. I would feed Isaac before I'd feed myself. Yeah. And I wouldn't starve because I can't starve because I'm the one running the show. But again, there were times when I would sacrifice my own money to go ahead and pay the coaches. Not in the martyrdom kind of sense. I know Coop just posted a really good article on that, but in the sense that I knew that investing in this woman, it was going to be one of the best things for my business, and it has been. And now she's able to go ahead and now she has money that she's able to invest in her own staff here at the gym. And it just populates itself. But guys, invest in human beings, not in bodies and ski ergs and pegboards.
Awesome. There's a lot of value that you just had that you used throughout here. I'm thinking if I still own my gym, I would be calling you, be like, hey, let's consult, right? Let's consult.
Yeah.
Let's throw some ideas around. Where do people find you, man? I mean, obviously WTF Gym Talk, right?
Yeah. So WTFGymTalk.com is the website. We're currently right now, we haven't announced it. And my guys that do I hire a company called Flex, and they do all my PR, all my marketing, all my content, everything, my website, all that stuff. And they'd probably be happy if I don't know if I'm allowed to do it, but one thing I'm going to do. Everyone does, like, there's a lot of gym owner or a lot of business gurus doing seminars and stuff. And I love it. I think it's cool. The one thing no one's doing is sales training. No one is taking gym owners and being like, you guys fucking suck at sales. You're rock star coaches. Let's fix the former, right? Let me sit down and teach you sales psychology, how to sell somebody. And again, if you're doing I'm a big PT first guy. But yeah, we're going to be doing a seminar in New Jersey in June. I want to say it's the first weekend in June, but we'll be pumping out some information on that here soon. But if anyone's looking to level up, I think we're going to call it spring training. Like this is literally, think about it as coming in, get some spring training, learn to fucking sell, right? Yeah. Learn to brand, learn to actually market, like an actual course, not just let's pursue excellence. I love that. That's very clouds level. I'm trying to get people in the fucking dirt and get people dirty, learning to actually sell, how to actually market and how to create their own brand. Because that's for a whole nother podcast, is the branding of CrossFit and your branding yourself as a CrossFit affiliate. I think it can work for you in a certain way, but I think more often than not, it'd be nice to own something you actually own. And unfortunately you don't if you own a CrossFit affiliate, in my opinion. But so what the fuck Gym Talk, WTFGymTalk.com. Anyone who's ever commented, just comment on a video. I probably end up texting you, calling you, or shooting you. Like, people don't realize they got that Facebook Messenger, that you can call somebody on Facebook Messenger. I do that to people all the time. Like, I've never used this and I can't believe you just called me. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? I have 5 minutes. I just like doing that. I think that's fun. But yeah, that's where people can reach me.
Awesome. Right on, man. Well, I appreciate it, Stuart. I love what you're doing for CrossFit. I mean, I love CrossFit. I'm still a CrossFitter at heart. Yeah. I love the movement, and I appreciate leaders like you and all of the names that we mentioned today. Cooper, Patty.
I agree.
All
those guys. So
they're keep phenomenal. It up, man.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate it. Eric, thank you so much for having me on and giving me the attention of your audience and everyone for listening. I really appreciate it. And if you ever have a question or anything like that, I'm not one to not answer it. Please dial me up, hit me up in the DM. Be more than happy to shoot you off a 10-second video answer to whatever question you've got. But guys, keep trucking. And the one thing I want everyone to remember while they're doing this and going through it every single day, even though it might suck right now, it's still a better day than being in the office working for somebody else. Like, you'll hear people that love the golf say a bad day on the golf course is better than a great day in the office. Even if shit sucks now, it is better than probably working for somebody else, pursuing someone else's dream, right? So just, I know there's a lot of guys struggling out there, and keep doing your thing, keep working your ass off, give it time, have patience, and get some help if you need it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Stuart Brauer.
Thank you very much.
Hey, fitness fans, don't leave yet. This is your host, Eric Malzone, and I want to personally thank you for your support and listening to the Future of Fitness podcast and interview series. If you have a few minutes, I would greatly appreciate if you went to iTunes and gave us a favorable rating, as well as go to our YouTube channel and subscribe there. That'd be fantastic. If you know of anybody who'd be a great fit for this show as a guest, please hit me up at eric@fitnessmarketingalliance.com. That's Eric with a C. Also, I have 3 questions for you. Number 1, are you a fitness professional who's been in the industry for over 7 years? Question number 2, do you have an online revenue stream or multiple online revenue streams? Question number 3, are you ready to break loose from your local market and take advantage of all of the opportunity out there in the online world? If you are, I want you to go to fitnessmarketingalliance.com/mastermind. This will lead you to our Level Up Mastermind group and all the information that you need to know. This is a group for high-level thinkers within the industry who are ready to break free. So go check it out. It's fitnessmarketingalliance.com/mastermind. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you again for listening. I greatly appreciate your support. We'll keep it up from our end as well.